they just get first.
I'm laughing at Sword Art on the screen. He sees the Bard ban. He's like, really, guys? The first time we actually get a Bard in our first rotation as a ban.
Oh, dear. Unfortunate for him.
He has played 7 games of it, though. Is definitely his most favored, so LGD at least doing their homework on that one.
Yeah, obviously the Thresh still available. I wouldn't be too surprised to see LGD go for the Thresh in their first rotation here. Although they have an Ezreal, so maybe you could just look towards a Yuumi instead. Yeah,
I think they want to leave that open because at least you can garner that Yuumi ban potentially into this next rotation. As well, it's kind of a send-off to Yuumi because Tem 13 is coming rapidly and Yuumi not looking so hot on that patch.
Peanut hovering on the Elise. We know he's not going to lock it in, but it's kind of a shout-out to olden times. It's one of his real premium picks that we've seen Peanut win out championships with. But the Yuumi does come on through. This is quite an early lock-in for that support role, but does mean that Mark is going to be able to put his feet up for the rest of the game.
It also means Peanut has a lot of champions that he can now go towards. He can go towards the likes of that Olaf, and then you've got such a potent combo there. You can also, if you want to, still go for some more of these carry-orientated picks and still be a menace thanks to that Yuumi on your shoulder.
So Angel could go towards this Syndra. It's the most played mid laner for both sides of the board here. Xie and Angel both playing a ton of the Syndra this split. And it is going to be locked in for Angel. In the meantime, we look towards this jungle role, and you'd expect a jungler from both sides on this first half of the pick ban. I'm a little bit surprised we didn't see a Thresh coming through for Sword Art, honestly, because I wouldn't be too surprised if that was banned now.
So the thing here is, you're with an Aphelios, true, you want that little bit of safety there, but you're against an Ezreal and a Yuumi, you're not going to be under too much pressure, so prioritizing that Thresh isn't too bad. I think here, getting the Syndra for Angel is really, really good for Suning, and having at least SOFM onto this strong jungle matchup where you're going to be at least able to work against what Peanut's trying to do in these early stages. I wasn't sure if we would see SOFM go towards the Jarvan again, but I think having something that can be a little bit more, or at least a little bit better in these dual potentials, I think is a stronger option.
Well, it's not quite Team Rocket here for LGD, but they're going to lock in the Machamp here in the mid lane for Xie. The Thresh we talked about is going to be banned, though, away from Sword Art. That is the pick that he made his name for himself with. And in the meantime, the answer on the other side of the board from Suning is to try and remove some of the comfort from Peanut.
Will be the Jarvan going away. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe the Olaf taken off the board as well. I want to see, though, how LGD want to try and make this comp work. So you've already got this Ezreal who can play fairly far back, has the Yuumi there as well to keep him extra safe. So I want to see LGD now get some sort of dive or something that could go in aggressively to enable Xie to follow up on the way LGD at least can play with this Galio. Because when I look over at Suning and I see an Aphelios, I see a Syndra, I see 2 champions who can't get very far away from you if you have someone like a Volibear who's diving onto them.
That is for sure. The Olaf was banned, but Volibear available, and they can jump straight onto these immobile carries. LGD potentially going to lock this one in.
Still the potential that this is for Peanut. Don't forget, there is that flexibility there. Peanut definitely someone who has a lot of flexibility in his champion pool, so this is still a potential for that jungle role.
We are going to see the Renekton locked in for Bin in the top side. This has been one of the picks that we've seen against a Volibear having some success in the 1v1 matchup. And by the looks of things, despite the counter pick, LGD going to commit to this 1v1 between the Bear and the Croc.
So it means that as an LGD team comp right now, oh, hang on, maybe we're not going to see that jungle pick instead.
Gangplank jungle?
I think Gangplank would ruin Suning right now. I actually really would like to see this. Beautiful from LGD. This is so smart. So you absolutely destroy Bin and lane with this Gangplank pick. And as well, you just upset everything the Suning wants to do. They want to run away as a Syndra and an Aphelios. Well, you've got a Cannon Barrage on top, and you setting up for Peanut to be the big engage tool. Follow up with Xie. It becomes so damn difficult when you're on Suning now to try and operate in these fights. Plus, you've got this great scaling now in the top lane for Longxing. This is why I'm so surprised we don't see Gangplank more often in the LPL.
Yeah, well, we've got a bit of a Disney special ahead of us now. We've got Baloo the Bear in the jungle. And on the other side, they've got Simba as the logo, for God's sake, on the side of Suning. So We're going to have Lion King versus Jungle Book here, but LGD with this Volley Bear jungle coming on through. And if there's any jungler in the LPL that's going to be able to pilot this to success, it's probably going to be Peanut. Up against one of his signatures as well, that SOFM is going to be piloting with the Lee Sin. But ultimately, when we look at these compositions then, we came in saying both of these teams want to fight around the mid game, want to set themselves up for these team fights. How do you feel we've set them up?
I feel like if I'm on Sunin's side here, you've still got at least some good pressure through the mid lane. You've got a top lane that if you can potentially try and play through for a little bit, but of course Gangplank is going to get to a point where he can just cleanse the stun, run away, and unless you got enough burst damage to kill him, you can't really do too much. So I want to see if Suning can get the ball rolling, because it feels like if they don't come off of the starting gate looking well, but then you'll have Longxing outscale. Xie will be able to access the rest of the map and do wonderful things. And then you're kind of looking at this team fight we already talked about, where you're going to struggle to operate thanks to the Gangplank pick here.
I'm loving all the toys that the Suning gang have got for themselves. Some rattles going on, some cuddly toys of the old Suning Lion as well. But we're heading into Summoner's Rift here for game number 1 of our series. The mid lane battlers up against each other, or mid game battlers, sorry. Suning up against LGD here. And LGD very much with this composition that is all about grouping up, all about stacking these ults. And Suning going with a bit of a weird one to start off.
Will be spotted though. Longxing placed a ward in that Tribe Rush, so they know that Suning have gone in here. We'll be expecting at least some ward coverage now on that top side to spot out where Peanut's going. But overall, we're seeing pretty much standard across the board here. Peanut opting for that press the attack as well, all about that burst damage when he does get into those ganks. And he's got his pick of the litter here, to be honest. Apart from that bottom lane, he can get in towards Xie, set up really well for that E onto the taunt for Xie to get Peanut time into lane. And as well, looking towards that top lane, if Bin isn't able to slice and dice away and Peanut can get the stun, a lot of follow-up damage there.
Well, we're going to be able to kick things off here. Is one thing that is very much in favor of Suning. That mid lane matchup obviously going to be going the way of Syndra, incredibly strong during that laning phase. Galio, very much just a neutralizer that's wanting to keep things even across that course of that lane.
Xie taking a lot of early poke though. Trying to go for that trade means that now Angel's in a really good spot where with this wave pushing in, he can look to deal even more damage underneath the turret. So Xie, at least for the moment, not off the best of trade patterns.
Peanut on the Volibear jungle. We'll see how this one's going to work out. I love that we're seeing all different players running all different skins on the Volibear as well. Like, it's not just going to be one skin every single game, which is good to see on the new rework. I know that doesn't matter in any way whatsoever, Dagda. I know you don't care about that, but I think it's nice to see.
You're a man of the people, you know? You got to get those cosmetics in. But I think still here, I want to see how Peanut does try to operate. Already, going from red, blue, Gromp, so going towards those single target camps is great, but now he'll actually potentially be pathing back towards topside to try and contest on this scope.
Going to see some heavy trades as SOFM moves in towards the jungle here. I mean, they're just going to peacefully farm the chickens together, and now they both pause because they both have smite, they both want it. It's SOFM that gets in the end.
And the problem here is that Bin is shoved in that top side, Xie's losing out in the mid, and as well, bottom side is pushing in. So right now, Peanut's on the back foot for SOFM, who can just use this pressure Angel's created mid lane to invade constantly and go.
Oh, hang on. Xie's in trouble here. Angel's not going to go for it in the end. I thought he was going to look for a solo kill with Peanut there as well, but it's just going to be a bit of pressure.
No, it's not Twile in the mid lane. It's Xie. He's safe. So we're looking at instead Suning, as we talked about, going Scuttle bot side, and you got Bin, who's able to leave that top lane to pick up Scuttle on the top side. So right now, Suning making good work of the pressure they have in all three lanes to deny Peanut a good amount of farm.
Yeah, very nicely done here by Suning, and Bin should be able to just comfortably finish this crab off. Hopefully he'll be able to get it while it's still on the top side so he can move back to his lane. Peanut is struggling a little bit, but you would expect Lee Sin in most matchups has some advantages in the very early stages of the game. But when we look at the compositions in terms of the scaling here, we have some really, really good options in terms of scaling for Suning. Obviously the Syndra, obviously the Aphelios. But it's worth mentioning that with a Gangplank in the game, He always wants to get to that late stage before he's really as significant as you'd want.
And I think the big problem here for Suning is trying to operate in fights thanks to the gangplank. Bane is going to struggle to get in because you've got the likes of the Cannon Barrage that can slow his advance, and with the amount of mobility and taunts and stuns that LGD have, he's not really going to be able to be a threat towards Kramer or Xie if he even does get into these fights, as Huanfeng takes some nice poke, but same is going to be with Angel and Huanfeng when, especially as a Felios, you're either in two modes. It's run away or run in. And the problem is for Huanfeng, a Cannon Barrage messes up that play quite a bit. And I feel like for a large portion of this game, unless Suning do get super far ahead, LGD are just going to fire Peanut into the back line, get onto Huanfeng, have that Cannon Barrage there, having Xie come in on top of it as well. This triple ult combo from LGD is really difficult for Nephelios and also for this Syndra to try and disengage from.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. You mentioned that he's going to have to try and run away. I don't know how you run away when Volibear jumps on you. Galio follows up on that. There's a Cannon Barrage slowing you. And then there's a final chapter from Yuumi as well. Like, that's a lot of lockdown for one 80
I wanted
carry
to keep
deal
a
with.
little bit of a surprise there when Yuumi was going to come in just to be that little cherry on top. But yeah, it's real hard here for Suning.
You could say that she's the final chapter to that story.
I'd rather not, though. So
Yeah, that's fair. You do have free will, so I'll allow you to not say that, Dagda.
I feel like that's all right. Bit of a strange one there.
Weird sentence, but we move on. We move forward here. 300 gold lead for Suning so far, which is a hefty snowball, if you will, Dagda.
Well, a lot of that is coming from this top lane where Bin is doing a pretty good job in keeping Longxing at bay. And over time, Longxing will be able to do well against this Renekton, but at the moment he's struggling. I didn't expect him to struggle this hard this early, though.
Let's be honest, we saw this. We've all learned this in our childhood. We've all seen Peter Pan. We know how scared Hook is of the crocodile, right? Like,
True.
It makes sense that this top lane would go exactly that way. And I guess we're just going to stick with the Disney
I was going to say, how many of these are you going to pull out at this stage?
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, well, I don't know if there's a Disney one for representing killing a dragon. It feels like it's a little bit too far gone. Maleficent?
I mean,
was
King
Maleficent?
Arthur, yeah.
Was Maleficent one from
I've
Beauty?
not seen Maleficent.
I don't know. Either way,
I watched
Dragon
the
will
old
go
Disney
down for
films.
SFM. And still, Suning with 3 pushing lanes are doing a great job of just solidifying their advantages in the early stages, where that 1,000 gold lead is coming from right now as well. And right now, I mean, LGD, yeah, they're fine to scale up, but you don't want to be losing this much this early.
Doesn't he slay a dragon in Sleeping Beauty?
I think that is Maleficent.
Yeah, well, it's the
I
original
think Maleficent is the dragon.
Oh, true. But that still counts.
Yeah.
We take those. So, yes, there is.
Okay.
And it's Sleeping Beauty. You're welcome, Dagda.
Thank you.
I've just figured out what you said and reiterated it to you. So,
yeah.
There you go. With that said, Bin is now going to be going on a bit of a proxy farming mission. Longxing is really struggling on the captain, but it's Xie that's in trouble right now. Has to use his heal. And then walks away with the play, but Peanut once again having his camps under trouble. This time it's a buff, though. The smite does come through, and Peanut is able to secure himself that blue buff. Does mean that it's denied from Xie.
Look at Bin, though. Bin's just wandering through Peanut's jungle. He's like, all right, cool, I'm going to go take your Raptors now. So when you finish this bot side quadrant, no reason for you to be top. I can keep playing as aggressive as I want against Longxing. And especially with Rift Herald up on the cards, you've got Peanut, hasn't hit that level 6, which you would really love to have for this fight. You've now got Bin, who's absolutely massive, and it makes it really hard for LGD to try and stop this snowball that Suning have going.
And you can see Ben moves back up towards that top lane, but it's Peanut that you've got to keep your eyes on because he's moving in for a potential play on the bottom side of the map. But with that ward in place, Huanfeng should know what's up. Just going to get that final CS before backing away from the play because he knows Peanut's around.
So this is where LGD are going right. We know Rift Herald is going to be on the cards for Suning, trying to force Huanfeng off this bottom lane turret so they can try and trade for some plates, but I don't know how much pressure they can really exert right now, and maybe actually SOFM looking to make some top lane plays instead.
Yeah, they're not looking for pressure. They're looking for a kill right now. Longxing is in a whole bunch of trouble, but so is Huanfeng on the other side of the map. He's going to be stunned up, flashes out for safety here. Peanut chasing, though, and the exhaust there as well. Moonlight Vigil won't do a whole heap of anything, and it's a kill to the Yuumi of Mark.
If anyone in that trade needed to not get the kill, it was Yuumi. But topside again, SOFM is still hovering around. Longxing needs to run flash for the Sonic Wave.
SOFM comes in here, flashes, kicks him back, and the Sonic Wave is there to find the execute. Beautifully done by SOFM.
So 1-for-1 cross-map plays for both sides, but turret plating at least is going in favor of LGD. And now, looks like they're trying to potentially mobilize towards...
Hang on. I don't know if you want to stop that recall, Sword Art. There's 3 of them in that brush. He's going to be rooted up, and Peanut charges on into the play. Sky Splitter comes through, but he's not even needed, honestly. Kramer gets the kill.
And now you can actually have LGD stay down here and get more of these turret plates. They don't have to worry about Hwanfeng kind of trying to defend it. Bin is still on this top side. This could be a great answer from LGD and a massive blunder from Suni.
Beautifully done here from LGD. Ult comes out. Oh, he's going to try and steal the Herald. That was beautiful from SOFM. The communication on the side of Sunin. Looking fantastic.
I think he still would have been okay. He still had Smite if anything did
but
go
like,
too
you
crazy.
know what? Just play it safe, right?
Yeah.
Just pulls.
Yeah.
I've never seen someone pull the Herald out of the way of a True Shot Mirage before.
I mean, at this stage, that Herald is going to do a lot of work. So if Kramer had been able to steal it, would have been great. But right now, SOFM can try and put this down towards this bottom side. Hwanfeng going to be a significant damage dealer here for Suning, as always. So just pop it down in that lane, try and get some of these turret plates back in your favor, and answer for the goal that Kramer has picked up early.
Try and find an answer there. Because Kramer does have a pretty sizable CS lead, but the biggest CS lead you're going to see on the map right now is in that top lane. Been 40 CS up on the gangplank of Longxing right now.
And this is relative, like, this is still Renekton favored, but you can do pretty well in this matchup as Gangplank. So to see how far behind Longxing has fallen is a little bit strange. I wouldn't have expected him to be this far behind at this stage.
Peanut really, really wants to make plays around the bottom side of the map right now. He moves in to clear vision once again. His ultimate about to come off cooldown. They can just go for a dive because Xie's here with a taunt. See you later, Hwanfeng. Now on to Sword Art, but he's managed to answer as Xie goes down.
It doesn't matter. You're making these plays on the bottom side. You will get this turret. Rift Herald in mid lane, though, to try and answer for the play.
And ultimately, losing a player here when you're in such a huge advantage for the play, not ideal when Suning can just answer elsewhere.
The kill does go to Sword Art, though, so it's not like it's a big cash injection into the likes of Hwanfeng, or at least some gold back in Hwanfeng's favor. And Angel and SOFM sharing this gold isn't as good as if it had gone just into Hwanfeng, but it might get,
they got a bonus
turret.
charge there. The Herald survived on 28 HP, and that means they can keep pushing forward. Peanut now could be in trouble. Scan of the week, and Angel is looking amazing on the Syndra.
I don't know why Peanut's trying to move in here. They'd already given up the tower. Xie would have been there to clear that Rift Herald before it tried to move in again. You've no camps on this bottom side for Peanut. He gives over a kill, and suddenly all these plays that LGD were trying to make to answer back for the gold that Suning had grasped have been tossed away with this dragon as well.
And Suning looking fantastic. Obviously, the bottom lane not looking so hot with the dives that are coming through from Peanut. But when you look at the rest of the map, the advantages are stacking up here.
And now we've got to start looking at what happens with this Ocean Soul point. Because I would like to see LGD now starting to fight. You've got your Ezreal who's approaching those 2 items. Xie's in a relatively okay spot, although hasn't quite finished that Hextech Proto Belt yet. Longxing's kind of far behind, though. Peanut is very far behind because so many of his camps have been taken, and as well, some of these ganks haven't quite paid off in the way that they would have liked. So LGD are actually going to be in a little bit of a pickle when it comes to trying to fight for this Ocean Drake.
It's a difficult spot for LGD, and bear in mind, the 2 teams that we're seeing play against each other right now both love to focus around the mid-game team fights. The next sort of 10-15 minutes are where we expect these 2 teams to find their victories. So the fact that Suning have themselves this early lead is a really, really good sign for them. Not just in terms of this game, but in terms of the overall series.
The good news, though, for LGD is that because they got the Cannon Barrage, they can still press against Bin while having an extra half a person, essentially, at these fights. But Peanut needs to not get caught out.
Well, he's going to get caught by a dredge line. SOFM spotted. And we're going to see a collapse here from the side of LGD. They're just going to go on to Peanut, though. Xie has to use the Grand Entrance. Suning, we're just looking for cooldowns.
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter massively that LGD had burnt, say, the likes of that Ezreal ultimate. But the fact that Xie used his ultimate in that engagement is a big win for Suning, because it's a massive cooldown where they can't now try and use his pressure globally.
Oh no. Quanfong, you don't have a tower, my friend. What are you doing here? This is not your bot lane anymore. There's a bear that really, really likes you.
Out of all the people on Suning that I expected to be hurting them, it was not Quanfong. This guy's got it caught out so many times now in this bottom lane, and it's giving a heap of opportunities to LGD.
Well, Langxing could be the weak link on the side of LGD right now because Bin is tearing him apart. Now we'll just move back up towards the top side, but SOFM, he's finished 1 kill onto Langxing already this game. Look at that. Sonic Wave lands, but it's not really going to have the damage to dive in here.
Bot lane, though, there's still a lot of movement happening from this LGD squad. They won't be able to kill it out, but at least that gold will still go to Langxing, so he's not missing out on too much. But this bottom lane, they will manage to answer for a turret at least. They need Xie, though, as you can see backing now, to help support that top lane, counter push from Langxing.
We are going to see Suning just trying to clear out the jungle of Peanut once again. That's the key thing, is a huge amount of that top lane CS deficit that's in favor of Bin has been from him taking the Krugs consistently, taking the chickens consistently away from Peanut, as well as, not to mention, these Scuttle Crabs.
Peanut is doing a smart job here of waiting for the respawns to come in, though, on this bottom side jungle. So he did pick up the Krugs. So he's still, and he's got a little bit of lane CS and a little bit of experience that way. So he isn't falling too far behind SOFM. And we're still going to see a bit more items yet to come through for Peanut before he becomes the big bear that we're used to. That Dead Man's Plate now being started. This is that or the Righteous Glory is usually what you see on these jungle volley bears, because you're not getting the gold to be a big bruiser carry, and instead it's about having these items that can help you close the distance and provide a bunch of CC and extra wallop in your team fights.
Looking for that extra wallop, that's what we like to see.
That's the technical term.
I know it is, I know it is. Well, it's more of a gnar term, really.
True.
He's kind of copyrighted that one for himself, but we've got a whole bunch of pings around the mid lane headed towards the Herald here. Langxing once again finding himself as the target. Great scat of the week from Angel. But he ate oranges, so it's K.
Science. But still, LGD now have pretty much stabilized at this point, because you can just play through holding on to these side lane turrets. You can't really push on too far as Suning to try and put pressure on towards this inhibitor mid. So although Suning have started up this Rift Herald, they're not really in a position right now.
These are the mid-game fights we've been looking for the two teams. Ooh. Kramer barely gets away. Death Charge in! He comes from the side. SOFM flying halfway across the map. He's gone way too far, though, and will go down with himself as well. Another hook out of Sword Art as they look for Xie. Moonlight Vigil not enough. Neither is the Ignite. And it is just going to be a 1-for-1 after everything.
Jungler went down for Suning, though, which means they can't go for the Rift Herald. So again, delaying this push, delaying the play, and there is going to be Dragon spawning in just a couple of seconds. So I imagine Suning's game plan here is hand over that Dragon to LGD while they go and try and take the Rift Herald.
I don't know about that one, Chief, because they've got a big old Croc that can threaten anyone. And if Peanut comes in, we know how the Croc versus Bear story goes. It's very much been in favor of Renekton. Peanut is going to try and make a move here. SOFM is on his way through the jungle, but this was all a bait after all. Sword Art stepping forward, trying to get onto Peanut, trying to stop the play from happening, stop the Dragon from being stolen. Sword Art is very low. His Aftershock is timed out. Langxing should be able to finish that one off. They're going to get themselves the Dragon as well. And Suning way overstepped their bounds.
So a big Croc doesn't matter if you're in a 4 versus 5. LGD are able to get there faster because SOFM was still trying to make it out of base. Now they get the Dragon. They can turn towards that Rift Herald as well. Or even if they want to, just forgo the Rift Herald and just push in mid. I think, though, it is going to be that Rift Herald.
Yeah, they'll have to move over there with Angel being able to be here and respond. But it is worth mentioning, nobody died here for Suning, so they get to reset. They can move back onto the map and potentially contest.
Well, Sword Art did go down, which is the kill going to Langxing, which is a big victory for LGD and helping Langxing recuperate some of the damage that's been dealt to him in the top lane. But I don't know why Suning are damaging this Dragon. You're just giving the opportunity for Peanut to steal it away. SOFM not in a position to get there fast enough, so LGD at least are starting to hold on and get some small advantages back in their favor.
Nicely done from them. Interesting to see as well, we are actually going to see the Blade of the Rune King on the Renekton. It's something that we see very rarely here in the LPL, but been a subscriber to that mentality. In the meantime, SOFM starts off the Rift Herald. There's not going to be any contest from the side of LGD on this one. They're just willing to allow this one to pass since they are 2,000 gold down.
The issue that I have with them giving over the Rift Herald like this is it gives the opportunity for Sunny to crack open these side lane turrets, and then you start to get further into your base where it becomes more and more difficult to try and play it safe, to get control for the likes of this Baron area, and making sure that Suning aren't able to rush some of these objectives. Like, don't forget, you've got an Aphelios, you've also got this Blade of the Rune King Renekton you just talked about. Baron and other objectives will go down so quickly to this team, and I don't know if LGD are going to be able to manage to keep them safe with them so pushed into their base.
FLICKR is having such a hard time in that 1v1. We've got a bit of a fight in the mid lane. SOFM does get knocked up, but once again we see this ult from Xie, and once again it hits nothing. Now he's going to be the one pulled in. He's not got any summoners right now, and the rest of the team goes in. SOFM tries to get the kick, but he's denied, and once again he's gone too deep, but Bin's there to save him, and somehow survives. Cannon Barrage finishes him off, but it's at the cost of the whole team here from LGD. They're falling one by one as Bin takes them down, and Angel gets the kill.
Mark would just manage to escape over the wall to Longxing, but LGD trying to make these picks happen, only given the option for Suning to collapse, get the kills. They're now turning towards this Baron, which they can do so quickly, and there's nothing Longxing can do. Maybe some miracle Baron over the wall that might help. He has TP'd into the play.
He's going to try and make something happen here, but I don't think he can escape from Angel. I don't think he can duel Angel right now, especially with Sword Art nearby as well. Angel has a ton of damage, but they're not really... Oh my days. He's almost finished Markov, who's the Yuumi. He's meant to be on the shoulder. He's somehow managed to survive that one for now, but Sword Art is the one that's going to go down. Ultimately, they got the Baron. They don't care.
They're going to escape away, and now Bin, with this Blade of the Rune King Renekton, geared up to go into split push role, has been enabled massively. Black Cleaver, Death Stance underway for the Renekton as well. And Suning, with a 4,000 gold lead, managed to sneak away that Baron.
I don't know if it was snuck.
Well,
LGD
yeah.
definitely knew what was going on. There was just not a whole bunch they could do about it.
I don't know why they're going for these plays, though, right now. You aren't getting onto the core members, which are Huanfeng or Angel, and as well, you're not really strong enough to go for these plays. Peanut is behind, Xie doesn't provide enough damage, and Kramer, although he's trying his damnedest, isn't able to take down enough of these members.
So we get to see what Bin was up to during this fight. Just flashes straight onto Huanfeng, and see you later, buddy. Easy fight for Bin when you're this fed on a Renekton.
And you don't even have Longxing who can try and join in right now. He's still working on his second item. He's so far behind the play. LGD's early game really coming back to bite them at this moment.
So far, so good here for Suning. They're down in kills, but it doesn't matter because they're 4,000 gold up. They've got the Baron, and Ocean Drake is about to spawn.
With a teleport advantage for Bin as well. Longxing can't join in because he used that teleport to try and scrap at the Baron. So LGD need to make a pick happen.
Forget your teleport advantage. They're going straight for Kramer. In everybody goes, trying to get this combo off, and Angel's been found out alone, but he's able to get a stun down onto the AD carry, and everybody's falling because Huanfeng is untouched right now, able to DPS through the lineup. Peanut falls as well, and Xie, he's got a cat on his shoulder, but he's against 4 members strong here for Suning. Or should I say 3, because Bin, he's left the play. He's elsewhere. He's looking for a fight. We even have a Herald dropped in as an extra man in the party.
Maybe a little bit of a misclick there from SOFM, but it doesn't matter. Suning, once again, finding these mid-game fights, taking down this dragon will give them soul points, while Bin is keeping Longxing busy, holding him accountable in this mid lane, while Suning push in the bottom.
They're just finding pressure all over the map. There's nothing Longxing can do to stop them. With a Herald, as well as the Baron buff, they can push really hard here. Still 15 seconds on Xie. But I don't think they can overcommit too much.
Still, though, Suning looking so damn good in this game. Able to snowball their early game completely out of control. And I thought maybe we'll end up seeing LGD being able to fight against Suning with this gangplank, with the likes of this combo between Peanut and the Galio. But we haven't seen any of that. The winning lanes from Suning, the pushing power, opened up too much control for SOFM and for Bin, and they've just been running amok in the LGD side.
Yeah, Bin especially. And when you look at the scoreboard, sure, it doesn't look like Bin has been a part of too much, but look at the CS lead. He is 80 CS up right now. He is 1-0-2. He is humongous on this Renekton. And he is such a terrifying threat, not just in the team fights, but in that side lane if he's allowed to just wail away with the pressure he has.
And that's exactly what he's looking to do. And unfortunately, Longxing, we got this opportunity now to see the carries coming back out from this top laner. We haven't seen it for a while. When he was on RNG, much more on this weak side top lane play, but it hasn't been working out for them this time around. Still is 2-1-3, just finished that Sterix gauge, but not really at this stage in a position where he can turn this 6,000 gold deficit around.
And Xie is going to find himself at a life deficit at this point. Angel gets a nice easy ult onto him, and Peanut, he knows he can't contest this tower right now. This is going to be a tier 2 going the way of Suning, as they just continue to rack up advantages for themselves. And you know, the big weakness we talked about in the early game was Huanfeng getting caught out time and time again. Well, he's an Aphelios, and he's heading towards 3 crit items.
It may have been slowed down, but it's still that inevitable trudge forward where Suning have been able to snowball from the rest of the map. And we talked about how they needed to get off to a good start here if they wanted to try and go against LGD. Well, you had Angel performing amazingly in that mid lane. That first initial couple of trades punishing Xie, and from there able to take over in that mid spot. Then you're looking at Bin in the top lane as well, who's getting this massive advantage against Longxing that we didn't really expect either. It's the LGD solo laners that unfortunately haven't been able to keep up with Suning, and Suning have benefited massively.
And it's one of the difficulties. Hang on. SFM being real aggressive here, but he knows his team is nearby, so he can kind of get away with it. And it's one of the advantages that we're seeing here from the fact that you pick 2 lanes that don't really do much until later on in the game. Galio not going to be able to have any pressure in that mid lane against the Syndra. In the top lane as well, this Gangplank clearly struggling against the Renekton from Bin. So it felt like that pressure was just way too much from the side of
I
Su.
still would have expected to see Peanut trying to make these plays topside alongside Xie and having some sort of command there, but the problem was when Peanut was spot on the bot side, Bin just went and cleared all the top side of Suning, which meant that when Peanut could have been able to go towards topside, there was nothing left for him. There was no camps, there's no reason for him to be on top side, so he's just wasting time falling behind if he tries to make this play top, and you can't really set it up properly in the bottom lane because you've got an Ezreal and a Yuumi.
Just look at that gold lead in the mid lane alone. 3,000 ahead for Angel, who's just finished a Void Staff. And I don't know, boys and girls at home, if you've ever watched a Syndra, if you've ever played against a Syndra, when they hit 3 items, you're not escaping that ult. It's going to one-shot you.
Do have the Yuumi to try and ease that burden, but it's going to take a lot to ease the burden where Suning running onto Peanut once again.
Peanut feeling like a burden at this point as he's caught up once more. Will walk away with his life. He's a tanky old bear there. But Suning, they're just posturing here. They're looking for the Baron ultimately, or a pick that can lead to it.
Suning, I'm still watching because I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm able to talk right now with how aggressive Suning are posturing. Now Kramer going over the wall into Bin though.
Yeah, Kramer's trying to make the play. He's got a blast cone to try and get himself to safety. Still with the flash available, it's going to be used now as Bin desperately trying to escape from this one. Needs to turn things around though because his team is on the way. Xie there. Bin is going to be able to slice and dice away. There's a blast cone, but the cannon barrage is going to ruin it. Dodges away from the Prowler projectile. Can he get away? No! Kramer jumps over the wall to finally finish him off. In the meantime, Suning have done nothing with all this time.
They haven't gone towards the Baron. Infernum and Gravitum there for Huanfeng means LGD now have the opportunity to turn in towards the Baron. Peanut lead the charge.
Oh, now they find a pick of their own, and it's onto Peanut. Kramer knocked up with the depth charge, but with a jungler down, that Baron's looking awful juicy to Suning.
They do have the teleport on Bin as well. Suning just wanting to buy time until that teleport is up and available. Xie goes in.
Sword Art's been found here. There's not a ton of damage to follow up, but Kramer is able to whittle away just a little bit. Huanfeng looking for mid priority as Xie finds his way out of the situation.
Dragon Soul has just spawned as well. Suning have their choice now between playing towards both. Huanfeng already starting up that objective here with SOFF.
They might just be able to burst this one out. There's no jungler here for LGD. Even if they die, getting an Ocean Soul might just be worth it. Final chapter comes on through. The smite is there, and the Ocean Soul is taken. Now on towards the fight as Xie tries to find a knockup, but Huanfeng flashes out of it, looking for Kramer, but he doesn't have the damage. He's taken down, and it's a pull back into the fight. They might have got the Aphelios, but can they get away from the team? team because Bin is closing the gap. In goes with the Sonic Wave. And Kramer, he's tanky, but he ain't tanky enough. Double kill for Bin. Make it a triple.
It felt only like a matter of time as Suning went from strength to strength in this game. Early to mid to now the base for LGD.
And Sorda is on the hunt. Shie, you're going nowhere. Sorda is going to try and chase him down. There's a ghost being popped as he's got the unsealed spellbook. But you know what? The Galio don't matter right now. Keep your eyes on the base.
29 minutes into this game. Suning looking to finish this off. They don't have Huan Feng, so not a huge amount of damage to consistently do these turrets. And with only 10 seconds left, it might have spoke too soon. It looks like Suning will be backing away. If Peanut can stop these bases, there is an opportunity LGD just turns straight towards the Baron.
Yeah, that might be a little bit hopeful for LGD fans, though, because I'm not sure they'll find that opportunity. Peanut can't stop Bin, because if he bites off more than he can chew there, he's just going to get cut down.
And unfortunately, with Peanut being the one to face check that bush, he gets caught out. He's not tanky enough as a jungler. Even though he has the Deadmans, there's a lot of magic damage that's coming out from the Syndra. They can burst out the jungler. And then LGD forced to try and fight at this dragon in 4 versus 5. The TP used by Bin to get into this fight is the real game changer here.
And I mean, Kramer did his best on that one. But look at Bin, how he manages to play this one on through. Once Huan Feng goes down, he realizes that he can just get all over everybody, finish them all off, gets the stun onto Kramer, and then SOFM is over there on the other side to help set him up for the triple.
Curious to see now what is actually happening on Summoner's Rift, though, because we still got that Baron. We've got an Ocean Soul now for Suning, and since LGD haven't been able to really get themselves under control here, that Ocean Soul only going to compound on that 8,000 gold lead.
Yeah, I was about to point out Shie was sat in the base with teleport available, but in the end decides he needs to get out onto the map and clear some of these waves. There's a couple of supers starting to stack up in that bottom side. That's going to take a minute to clear for LGD.
Longxing went Mortal Reminder.
It's the old classic, you know. Wants to deal with the healing from the Renekton Q.
Yeah, but just sit on Executioners. There's not a... Like, there's some armor now being printed, but I don't know. You're already got it off your barrels.
I was being sarcastic a little bit there, to be quite honest. I have no idea why he's built it, but they're looking for a fight now. Peanut going to be pulled on in as Bin charges straight. Bin's not even needed. Peanut's already gone down. Shie going to try and save Kramer's life, and he will be able to give him the magic shield that keeps him safe from the Syndra, but that's a beautiful kick from SOFM, and that kick is going to be the final nail in the coffin. Triple kills across the board here for Suning. Bin got one earlier. Now Angel on the Syndra. The TP into the base. And Angel wants himself a quadra as he looks for Longxing here. Longxing knows what's going on. He knows there's nothing he can do. And it's SOFM to grab the final kill and secure the game for Suning.
The ace is there. Suning looking damn good in game number 1. Soul point, Baron up. It didn't matter what happened in this game. Suning just went from strength to strength.
Beautifully done here by Suning. We said this was all about the mid-game fighting.